How do you create and deliver effective presentation designs? This is actually what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. Hi everyone, this is Tichuksima. Welcome to this video. So let's learn about creating and delivering effective presentations. Now, before we get into some of the tips on designs and also delivering, first let's look at the concept. Let's understand what is the ultimate aim of using a presentation tools. Now, this is actually where to start before creating any presentation design, also before delivering any presentation. Why do you want to use the presentation? Mostly, these are what presentations are used. First, to communicate an idea. So you can use presentation to communicate your idea in more effective way, by bringing in combinations of image, text, graphics to communicate your idea. They say image is worth more than 1,000 words. Okay, so there are some things you might use image to visualize that your words cannot explain it in all details. So in most cases, presentations are used to communicate idea. It can be in any form. It can be in a slideshow presentation. It can be in a video form. In whatever way, one of the aim of presentation is to communicate ideas. One of them is to communicate goals and vision. Okay, businesses use it in this way. Let's say you are pitching your idea to an investor. Okay, how do you help them understand your big picture? Okay, how do you help them really understand them? You can say it all in, but when you use tools like presentation to plot it out both with images and graphics and all that, it communicates more and is more effective. So in most cases, you can use presentation to communicate your vision. You can also use it to communicate your plans. How do you tend to go from point A to point B? So these are one ways presentation tools are also used. You can also use it to communicate feedback. Let's say you are given a task to do a research, or let's say you embarked on a project that needs a feedback to an authority level, or just want to help people learn your experience or your process on that project, or on that task you are given. So presentation is one tool. Also, you can use it to communicate it in more effective way. Also, to deliver knowledge. So you can use it to create training, create calls. You can use it to deliver seminars. Now, the main idea here is that before you can start creating presentation with any presentation tools, you need to understand why you want to use it. What is the actual aim? What do you want to really use that to do? Once you understand that, it's going to also determine how you create that presentation. It's also going to determine how you deliver it. So this is why this thing is more important. So in my own case now, I'm using it to deliver a lecture, and also it dictates how I structure it, how I created it, and how I am following through it, how I apply the transition, the animation, everything. So the essence I'm using this presentation also dictated how I was able to create the design. Okay, so this is one important thing you need to understand. This is like the basis of a presentation. Now, once you get this right, now let's talk about the design tips. How do you create effective presentation slides? First, I want to state it clear that I'm not here to pledge alliance to being your graphics guru. Okay, so I'm also I'm not your go-to guy for graphics, but when it comes to tools like presentation, okay, there are some basic tips you can follow through to create effective presentation. Now, what do we mean by effective presentation? Effective presentation is just a presentation that helps you achieve your goal. Like what we mentioned earlier on about the aim of using presentation software. Do you want to communicate ideas, or do you want to communicate your visions and plan in an effective way, or do you want to deliver lecture? So this, if you can create a presentation that will help you achieve your end goal, that is actually the ultimate goal with presentations. So there are tips that you can follow through to achieve creating effective presentation, and that is actually what I intend to share with you here. Okay, so first of all, I start with font. Okay, first you need to use easy to read font. A lot of people can be very artistic. They try to play around with font, use kind of funny styled font and all that. But you need to know that what your goal is going to be, how can I create something that someone is not going to struggle reading it? Okay, so easy to read font is also important. Also, maintaining consistent font in your slide is also important. In this case now, I recommend using like 2 to 3 fonts. Okay, let's say you have heading, you can use a different font for your heading, subheading. If you also have like another sub under your subheading, you can also use a different font. So in my own case, I'm using like 2 fonts, just for the heading and also different one for the body of the content. So just maintain simple font. It's not about design, it's about simplifying things. Okay, that is actually how you can come out with an effective design. Also, highlight important words with large letters. Let's say there are something you want people to actually pay attention to that particular word. You can bold that particular word or just make the font very bigger, more than the other ones in your slide. Now this is the basic font tips for you when creating design on any presentation tools. Okay, so let's talk about design and graphics. Now when it comes to design and graphics, one thing you can do is to just use a design template. Now a design is different. You can have your own customized design, but just like maintain it. You know, a lot of people try to play with designs. One slide will have another color, in another slide they have a different kind of concept and all that. No, just maintain a design template, put into consideration what is going to bring out the text, make it very clear for people to read and all that. So another thing is to always standardize your design. Okay, you see, as you can observe in my slide here, most of my design are very standard. You see the heading standing in almost particular position. You see the image. Actually the image can change around, but you see looks very organized and very structured. And also color. Okay, you can't play around color with any. Let's say you use black here, you use green here, you know, this can actually cause some kind of distractions. Even your styles, make sure everything are standardized. Okay, it helps you to look more organized and also helps your design to come out very easy to follow through. Okay, also maintain easy to view colors. That's why I said earlier, you don't need to use complex colors to create your designs. Maintain easy to read colors and also limit numbers of transitions. Okay, these people get too excited about some of the amazing transitions and animations that they find in presentation software, and they just want to pile everything in their design. Okay, so also depending on the situations you are designing, or in situations you are going to be presenting the design, in most cases maintaining 1 or 2 animation for your entire design is the best guide. Okay, you don't need to pile up all your design with transitions and other, which will end up becoming like a distraction for your audience. Or another thing is also to limit graphics image. Okay, don't say okay, or you have a bullet point you want to discuss, then you want to have a graphics image that talk about those bullet points. So using a single graphics object that communicate the idea and concepts you want to talk about on a slide can be more effective than using different graphics objects that communicate different meaning of each point you want to talk about on your slide. So it's best to maintain a simple design. Simple design helps you to communicate the most important information to your audience. Now there are also things I call like the don't of presentation. These like things, the mistakes that you shouldn't do. So one of them is using general clip art, mostly probably the one you find inside your presentation tools and all that. Now you should know that these clip art are used by thousands of presentation creators. Okay, and they're also familiar with audience. You might not actually communicate your message more powerful with this clip art. So there are platforms where you can go over and access clip art or images that you need to build your presentations. Platforms like pixel.com, Upsplash, also have like Freepik. Freepik has more clip art content that you can use for your slide building. We also have platforms like Pixabay. Okay, so all this platform allows you to find new images, new crafted clip art and images that you can use to build your presentations. So and that thing is also don't depend on template. That's why in the presentation mastery course I try to walk you through the concept, understand how to do basic things, learn how to find commands in these tools. Okay, not just going straight to working with templates. You don't need to build on the template, because sometimes you might pick a template and the slides and the layout of that template is not perfect for you to communicate your ideas. It's not the right structure you want. The designs might be cool, everything, the font design, everything might be cool, but the structure of it might not be what you really need to build your slide. So you don't need to depend on template. That's why you need to learn the ins and outs of these presentation softwares. Okay, and also you don't need to cloud your slide with text. Now imagine all my voiceover in this video, I have it all in my presentation slide here. So everything is going to look like a book, no more a presentation. So everything is going to look like a book. So, or while you are actually delivering, let's say in a case where you are delivering it in a live audience, people might just decide to be reading what is on the slide rather than listening to what you are saying. Okay, so avoid using text heavy slides, and also avoid thanking me first when designing your presentation. So your presentation is not all about you, so don't get too creative with your designs. So put in focus, is this thing easy to follow through? Is it easy to understand? Can my audience read through it? Can they can the images and the clip art I'm using, can it communicate the idea the way I want them to understand it? So these are basic things you need to put into consideration. Think audience, not you first. Okay, if you want to do it for fun, if you want to just be creative around, that is fine. But once you are thinking of creating a slide that you want to deliver to an audience, you need to think the audience first. Make it easier for them to follow through and understand. Okay, so these are the basic tips you can that can help you create effective presentations, effective slides. Now let's talk about delivering your presentations. There are a few tips I want to share with you here. First of all is that, so you need to prepare, and prepare comes in different forms, and also it is determined by the situations where you want to present your slides or your presentations. Okay, for example, if you are presenting to a live audience, it's a different scenario. Just like me now recording my screen and just speaking, this is different from a live audience. Okay, but even though I try to make it look like I have you here, you know, I speak as if I have you here, I'm talking to a friend, I just want to explain this concept to a friend and just flowing through and all that. But you need to also understand that everything has to be planned out. You need to be, if you are presenting to a live audience, you need to be conscious about your time. You don't want to spend all hours talking about one concept or dealing on one slide where you have like 10 slides to cover. That's why there is what is known as rehearsal in presentation softwares, whereby you can use to build your timing. You can also create your timing for yourself. Use those things to be guided on how you're going to be delivering the presentation. So another thing is also researching about your topic. You need to know your topic. Okay, it's not where you come to fumble. You need to really research your topic, know about it, get different parts. Even before you start creating your design, research about your topic so that you can learn how to structure it. Also the kind of content you are going to be bringing into it. Okay, research about your topic and also learn about it so that you can deliver it effectively. And that thing is also know your audience. So the audience you are delivering is going to determine how you design and also how you deliver. Okay, like right now I know that I'm delivering to students, people who's going to be watching this course at their own convenient time, anytime. So anytime you're watching it, it's going to look like I'm talking to you. This is how I try to present the lessons, like I'm talking to you personally, walking you through steps, sharing concepts and ideas with you. This is actually how I deliver it. If I'm going to be delivering this in a live audience, it's going to be different. Okay, so you need to know your audience and know also the situations you are presenting your presentation, and also understand that presentation is a skills. And one thing with skills is that it takes time to build. Okay, so whether you are creating a presentation to present to a team or deliver to an audience or creating course like this, just know that these things are skills. Okay, even me, I still go through the recording process to be able to create complete videos, some of the lessons you watch. Okay, so just know these things are skills. It takes time. Give yourself patience. Consistency is the key. Okay, if you continue and even your design will change, you begin to build experience, and those experience can pile up to impact how you create your presentation designs and also how you deliver it in any given situation. So just understand that the presentation itself is a skill and is a viable skill, and is also worth learning. Okay, so basically that is it about tips on creating your designs and also delivering it. So the basic thing you need to understand about presentation here is that keep your design simple and also deliver your presentation with your heart, with passion, and with zeal to help people understand the concept you are sharing. Okay, so I want you to keep all these tips in mind as we go over to start creating and designing presentation with Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so basically that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.